Hey y'all, today I'm making one of my favorite recipes, which is Southern bacon grease fried cabbage and smoked sausage. I make this recipe about once a week. It's a staple at our house and we really like it. So what you're going to do to start is you're going to use a whole head of cabbage. You can find these in the produce aisle. You're going to use the whole head. It does seem like it'd be a lot of cabbage, but you're going to find that it's going to cook down. So you're going to roughly chop up your cabbage. I'm doing kind of like little squares and strips, but you can cut it however you like. And it's going to cook down regardless. So just chop it all up. You're going to do your whole cabbage. It ends up being quite a bit. So the pan that I'm using is I usually use a big frying pan, or I use almost like a stock pot sort of thing. I'm using a smaller little stew pot sort of thing. And so that'll probably fill up with all of this cabbage. What I have cooking there, and you will see later on in this video, I already have it heating. So I have my pot there heating on medium-high heat, and I already have my special ingredient in there, which is the bacon grease. The bacon grease I collect from frying up bacon for breakfast or BLTs, and I just save the grease into a mason jar, and I keep that in my fridge at all times. And whenever any recipes call for bacon grease, I go ahead and just get it out and I have it. So you may not be able to find it at the store, but that's how I get my bacon grease. If you don't have bacon grease, you can always use butter. Butter tastes really good with this as well. And you can use other kind of oils. If you got vegetable oil, canola, whatever you use, you can use that. So I'm putting in my cabbage there. The other thing I have in there, I have onions. So I had already cut up an onion from a previous meal I made the night before, and I went ahead already added it in there. But I'll show you that in a moment when I flip the camera around to the stove. For now, let's roughly chop up our cabbage. And you can use the green leaves and all that. It all cooks down. Y'all, I just noticed my hair is down, and I know that some of y'all do not like to see my hair down when I'm cooking. I am sorry about that, but I will probably tie it up the next time. I had just gotten out of the shower just a little bit ago, so I'm letting my hair air dry. But you'll rest assured that my family has never gotten sick from my cooking or anything like that. So it's all good here at our house. But have y'all ever used the core of the cabbage? I don't usually use it. I have a feeling it might taste bitter. But comment down below. What do y'all do with the core of the cabbage? Or is it okay to cook it? What do y'all think? I usually save it up as a treat for my chickens because my chickens love to get that. They love the core of the lettuce and of the cabbage. That's like a big treat to them. As you can see, my pot is pretty much full to the brim. So you're going to let it kind of cook down there. It's pretty forgiving. You can leave it on the pot and it'll just begin to cook down. So now we're getting ready to chop up our smoked sausage. You can use any kind you like. This is the kind that I am using. I'm going to go ahead and use up the whole 2 links. This recipe will be enough for a family of 4 to 6. And oftentimes I have leftovers. And this is one of the meals that I like to eat for leftovers. I am kind of picky about leftovers. I haven't really been someone that loves to eat leftovers just because to me the food gets a different taste. But this is one of the meals that tastes exactly like it did when I made it. So I like to save it for leftovers if there's any left. So I'm chopping them up in a coin size. And this is about the thickness of it. I have also done this in like little squares, or you can cut your sausage however you like. This is just how I'm doing it and how I've gotten used to making it. The way I'm making the recipe today is true to how I usually make it every week. It's a very simple recipe. As I mentioned, the ingredients are just bacon grease, onion, and that's optional. You don't have to use the onion. A whole head of cabbage, smoked sausage, and seasonings. That's it. So it's a pretty simple recipe. So go ahead and chop all that up. You may not add it in right away. I personally like to wait towards the end when my cabbage is all cooked down, and then I'll add in my sausage because I don't like my sausage overcooked. I just kind of like it just kind of soft like it comes, just a little bit cooked. But if you like your sausage a little more fried or cooked, you may want to add it in a little bit earlier than that. So that's up to you. The sausage that I'm using, it's already cooked, so there's no worries of how long it stays in there, or, you know, anything like that. All right, so we gotten the sausage all cooked up. That's what it looks like. I'm just gonna set it here to the side, and I will show you now how I'm doing the other part. So here is the bacon grease. That's what it looks like. I even added in some of the little drippings that have the little bacon pieces in there. And like I mentioned, I already had an onion that was cut up. So I'm just adding that in there. You're going to use a whole onion. You're going to let the onion cook in there for a little while because this will kind of let it caramelize and get more color before you add in the cabbage. That's how I like to do it. And so let it cook, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes is what I'm doing. And you can see what it looks like there. Some of it's starting to kind of brown, some of it's not. But it's starting to cook down and caramelize a little bit with that bacon grease. So that's what the bacon grease looks like. That's about how much I have left. I pretty much need to make some more bacon, I think. All right, so there's the cabbage. That's the cabbage after we added it in from chopping it up. It's cooked down a little bit. It's probably like halfway. And so now here are our seasonings. We're going to use the ground pepper, onion powder, salt, and sugar. You're going to use about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of sugar. It doesn't matter what you add in at what time. So I'm doing my pepper first. Go ahead and sprinkle what you like to your taste in there. I like to use a lot of pepper, but I was actually running low. Otherwise, I would have probably put some more in there. And then salt, just put a little bit of salt in there. The sausage and the bacon grease does have a salty taste to it already. And I like to put a little sugar in there. It makes it taste really yummy. So that's what I like to do. But you can opt out for the sugar if you do not like adding sugar to your food. Then there is onion powder. I add this to a lot of my meals, so just sprinkle a little bit in there. But remember, you do have an onion in there, so if you don't want to use onion powder or you don't have it, you don't necessarily need it. All right, so just kind of mix all that in, incorporate it with your cabbage. The cabbage is very forgiving. You can just kind of leave it, set it, and cook there. It's not going to really burn or anything. We now have this set to, we started off with medium-high heat. You can turn it down to medium. And then just kind of let it cook. This meal will take about 20 to 30 minutes to complete. The cabbage does take a little while to cook down. Otherwise, it's a very simple recipe to make. So I'm just going to let it sit there, and I will show you. I'm just turning it back down to medium now, and I'll show you how it begins to cook down. There's our sausage ready for it to put in. Now it has cooked down. As you can see, it looks more fried. It's got more color to it. Those onions are caramelized, and you can see that the sausage, or not the sausage, but the cabbage has really cooked down quite a bit. That's what you want it to look like, and that's where it's cooked and ready to eat. You can continue to cook it down if you like it even softer, but I like it like this. I'm going to go ahead and add in my sausage now, and it'll be a good time to add it in because the cabbage is all cooked, and like I say, I'll probably cook the sausage in here for about 5 minutes, and then I'll call this recipe done. So that's how I make it. And so just adding it in, I'm just trying to do this with one hand, so it's taking a little while, but once everything's in there, you're just going to kind of mix it up and let it sit for 5 minutes, and then you can come back. Today I am doing some different things after I cook this. I have to go run around, be the taxi mom for a little bit, and then we're going to come home and have dinner. But this will taste just as good even later on. It really is good at any time. So I can kind of cook this now and come back later, and it'll be good to eat. So here I am just mixing everything together. Gonna let it sit here and cook for a little bit. And the smell is amazing, y'all. It smells so good. This is a really yummy home-cooked meal. It pairs well with cornbread if you make some cornbread with it, because there will be some juices at the bottom, and I like to serve it in a bowl with a spoon and a slice of cornbread. That is just so yummy. This is a good comfort food for fall, so keep it in mind for the fall recipes you have planned this fall. So that's what it looks like. I would consider this recipe, this meal done. It is so good. There it is all done. And so what I'm going to do is just cover it. And then I'm going to run off and do my taxi mom errands. And I will be back later to have dinner with my family. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you like this recipe. If you're new here, please think of subscribing, liking, and I will catch you on the next video.